leaders.
With dedication, with passion, you are likely to inspire people who will do their bit. And when we harness our collective talents, our collective efforts, our collective endeavor, that is how countries grow.
To improve leadership quality in the country, Nigeria's Tertiary Education Trust Fund decided to establish more centers of excellence responsible for research and teaching of leadership and public governance.
Small-scale businesses.
This initiative gave birth to the Abuja Leadership Center 2 years ago. At its 14th leadership series, the major message is centered on moving Nigeria beyond hope.
So what is the hope all about? How do we articulate this hope? How do we bring this hope to bear on the life of the citizens? How do we bring the hope President Tinubu is talking about on the economy, on our political system?
I've learned a lot of skill. I've learned how policy are formulated and implemented.
Those people in government need such a center for them to be able to actually transform their policy into reality.
One of the key requirements to acquire a master's degree at the center is for students to go back to their communities to mentor, educate, and inspire young Nigerians through a program called Leadership Youth Clinic. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Promoting Nigeria's unique identity and local content is not about displaying the nation's pride, but crucial to the nation's growth and development. This was re-echoed at an award ceremony by the Nigeria Internet Registration Association. Diana Ajali reports that the largest television network in Africa, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, was awarded the Best Electronic Media for the year 2024.
It was a celebration of lifetime achievements for many gathered in this hall. Industry players from all walks of life converged on Lagos to celebrate with one another. The award, which comes in different categories, began with the Best Online Media Website, followed by Best Print Media.
Nigerian Television.
The largest TV network in Africa, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, clinched the award for Best Electronic Media. Executive Director, Special Duties, NTA, Ibrahim Aliyu, says the station will continue to do more in promoting indigenous quality content, support educative programs, entertainment, and a lot more, while upholding standards for the good of the nation.
It's another historical event to create more avenue to also contribute more of our quota toward the developmental process of this country. NTA is going to partner with them to ensure that each of their policy has been executed effectively.
Organizer speaks on the importance of the awards.
It's a way of appreciating them for adopting .ng and promoting our national symbol. In relation to NTA won as well, and that shows because we've seen what NTA has done, and people nominated NTA. We are not the ones that handpicked NTA. So we believe that as much as more companies, individuals, and companies adopting .ng, we are going to continue to do what appreciate them.
Nigeria Internet Registration Association NIRA Award is a platform initiated 7 years ago to appreciate organizations from across the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation, championing Nigeria's identity, cut across private organizations, states, as well as federal government firms, aiming to encourage more Nigerians to adopt the promotion of the true Nigeria identity. In Lagos, Diana Ajali, NTA News.
Cote d'Ivoire's 2025 presidential election aspirants increase in number as Gulf Summit calls on international community to objectively project UN Security Council resolutions around the world. Kolo Mohammed brings us details on these and other stories on Global Update.
The new presidential hopeful, Simone Hivet, won the nomination of her party, the Movement for Capable Generations, at a congress in her native town of Mosul, in the country. In her acceptance speech, Hivet listed national reconciliation through amnesty, food security, and industrialization as her priorities. Lauren Gbagbo and Simone divorced in June 2023 after 34 years of marriage and decades of joint activism. Former President Gbagbo, acquitted in 2019, has also accepted the nomination of his party to run for president in 2025. The incumbent President Ouattara, who was elected in 2020, is yet to say if he is running or stepping aside. And as the Gulf bloc meets, the summit underscores the importance of collective action amongst nations in the region. In unison, the Gulf has called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. In the opening speech, the Emir of Kuwait called on the international community to play an unbiased role in implementing UN Security Council resolutions around the world. He echoed support for a permanent solution regarding the Middle East major crisis, pointing out that the emergence of a two-state will eventually bring permanent peace in the region. And the new dawn in Iceland. Democrats, led by Kristrún Frostadóttir, gained 25 seats in 63-seat parliament with 20% of votes. Kristrún, 36, took over as party leader 2 years ago and has championed the Nordic welfare model, vowing to tackle a cost of living crisis sparked by high inflation and borrowing costs. However, the Independence Party, led by Prime Minister, came second with 19.4% of votes, gaining 14 seats after a alleged surge in support. Kolom Hamad, NTA News.
Colorful and exciting best describe the atmosphere at the main bowl of Moshood Abiola National Stadium, venue of the closing ceremony of the second African Military Games, as participants from 20 African countries, including the host country, Nigeria, spiced up the evening with a variety of activities. Ijoma Peter Mwante brings us a recap of the night.
The second African Military Games in Abuja, with the theme Enhancing Military Cooperation in Africa Through Sports, came 22 years after the first edition was held in Nairobi, Kenya. After 12 days of intense competition in 19 sports among the 20 participating African countries, the curtains came down on the Games with a colorful closing ceremony at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Aside from the rich cultural displays and other razzmatazz, there was a farewell parade by all participating countries.
Truly, there's a measure of unity that has been built by reason of these games. So I really want to commend the Nigerian military for taking the initiative, and the President and Commander-in-Chief, who is the grand patron of the games, for sponsoring this.
The weight, 300 grams, the design took about 6 weeks to complete the design, and of course about 6 weeks to complete the making of the gold and the silver and the bronze medals.
Virtually all the countries won one medal or the other, but of course Nigeria, being the host country, is leading in the medal table. Of course it is expected, Nigeria being the largest of West African country, what do you expect? So I think so far so good is a good one.
The event also featured awards of honor to deserving individuals who made AMGA 2024 a reality. Top among them was President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Others include the founders of the Organization of Military Sports in Africa and former service chiefs. While declaring the games closed, Vice President Shettima said there is no doubt that the spirit of sportsmanship has been exhibited in all the games.
For making the sacrifices to leave your comfort zones and travel to Nigeria for this significant event, I trust that your expectations have been met, and I hope your experiences here have justified your commitment.
The event climaxed with the dousing of the game's flame and lowering of the Osma flag as the third and second place trophies were presented to Kenya and Algeria respectively, with overall champions Nigeria getting their winners trophy, which sparked fireworks to signal the end of the games.
Very heartwarming there. Now, the remains of President of the Senate in the Second Republic, the late Joseph Wayas, have been laid to rest. At the funeral service in Cross River State, Governor Basiotu says he lived an exemplary life, one that was impactful, pledging that the state will continue to uphold the legacies of the man he describes as a colossus who died at the age of 80. Justina Etem reports.
It is a gathering of distinguished personalities as Governor Otu joins others in support of the family of the deceased at their moment of grief.
David Wayas grew, despite all the challenges, the inhibitions, to rise to the position of the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That death is no more an ordinary death.
Expressing her grief, wife of the deceased says she is consoled that late Wayas lived a fulfilled life.
They say give honor to whom honor is due. I believe at this stage, the visitors who have come have been wonderful. I thank them for spending their time to be with us.
Earlier, at a night of tributes, Senate President Godswill Akpabio extols virtues of the deceased.
We led the Senate that forged a very cordial relationship with the executive arm of government without losing sight of its constitutional responsibility of oversight and majorly checking the excesses of the executive and balancing the equation to ensure political stability.
Late Senator Joseph Wayas is said to have created impact in the Nigerian political sphere, having co-founded the National Party of Nigeria and was the Commissioner for Transport in the defunct southeastern states, as well as became the 4th President of the Nigerian Senate. From Obanliku local government area, Justina Etem, NTA News.
And as the news segment, we'll be taking a break, and then Claire will return for Newsline Proper. But before then, let me ask Claire, I guess you'll be very happy that Nigeria military won in the games, right?
Oh, yes. Thanks for asking. I was so excited, especially the relay race between the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, and, of course, the Navy. At first, the Nigerian Army was coming third, but suddenly I was very happy. But let's take a short break, and, of course, this line will continue in a moment.
Ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it access to the right information? Are you lost? Or where you live? You are away from the opportunity. Maybe it's your language, your culture, and your traditions. Then I ask you, what's holding you back?
Call the NTA free number.
As part of NNPC Limited's digital strategy, which seeks to enhance business capabilities, maximize competitiveness, and drive better performance, NNPC Limited will be transiting to a cloud-based procurement system on SAP Ariba network from the 1st of January 2025. To achieve a smooth changeover,